And with that, we now turn it over to Joey Logano, driver of the number 22 Shell Pennzoil Ford for Roger Penske. Now, Joey, talk about the excitement you have coming in here to the World Center of Racing and getting ready for the 56th running of the Daytona 500.
Well, I've had the whole day to hang out in the trailer and get antsy and not be able to sit still because I'm full of energy right now and a lot of excitement to get on the racetrack and do something. But not looking pretty out there. But I'm ready to go. My team's ready to go. We're excited about this season. We're able to keep the whole team together for the most part and be able to build off what we had last season, which is good because we made a lot of changes coming into last season. Obviously with the driver, but with engineers, shock specialists, car chief, spotter, all that. So those key positions are still there, and that's important to kind of build off what we had last year. And we ended the season with a good year, and being able to build off of that with the same people and kind of take a step back and look at what everyone's role is and where we can all do a little better job individually and as a team. And try to make a great season out of it.
Okay, we're going to open it up now for questions. If you could please raise your hand, we'll get a wireless mic to you. Any questions for Joey Logano? This is a very curious group today.
What do you
start
guys
over here with Dwight?
Dwight Drum, RaceTape.com. Could you talk a little bit about what you would do in the off season, Joey, about preventing cobwebs, keeping yourself in shape to come back to and ready to come back testing and racing?
Well, I think, like you said, testing. I've signed up for every test that comes up at Penske Racing. I went to Memphis a few weeks ago. I went to Columbia for Juan Pablo's go-kart race, which, I mean, it's still a race, so you're racing something. I think that's important, just to be in the seat and driving things, really no matter what it is. I think as long as you're taking something and pushing it to the edge, I think that's important. And I think, being up at the shop a lot and understanding, where the team's going and what changes and what these rule changes are going to do and, help direct the team in the right direction to what's going to, fit my driving style or what I think is going to be the most important as a driver as we come into this season. So, I think whatever you got to do to stay in the loop and at the same time also be in a race car is the most important things throughout the off season.
Any more questions for Joey Logano? We'll go over here to Steve and then back to Bob.
Joey, sort of a tough year last year for the entire team. A lot of people think the wheels started coming off at the first race in Texas with the whole rear end controversy. Do you agree with that? And if not, what went wrong last year, and what can you guys do this year to make sure that year doesn't repeat itself?
I don't think it was a terrible season, in all honesty. I mean, we made the chase. We were very solid. I feel like, week in and week out, we were, a top 10 to a top 5 car. Unless we had some kind of issue, and I thought despite everything that happened in Texas, for the 22 team, we overcame that. We finished 5th that day, and was able to keep pushing forward to winning races. So, I feel like we've had the opportunity last year to win 5 to 6 races. We only capitalized on 1, so we can get better at that. I think that's a big area for us. I think our pit stops, we're making some changes on the pit crew to make that better. I felt like our cars last year had speed in them. I felt like the 1.5 mile stuff was probably our best. That's where our strongest suit was. But, we were working hard on where our weaker points were, which I felt like were short tracks. And we were able to, work on that stuff. Obviously, these rule changes is kind of the great equalizer right now and an opportunity for us to, take these rule changes and make the most of it and try to figure it out first, because there's going to be guys that are going to figure it out first and going into the season and look at these first 4 or 5 races and take advantage of that opportunity. So we want to be that guy. We want to do that. So we're going to work hard over this offseason to figure that out, figure out our pit stops, and Todd and myself figure out how, when we have the opportunity to win, to take take advantage of that a little better than we did last year.
Go to Bob.
Bob Parker, Sporting News. You've already been to Memphis, so what are you learning about the new aero rules?
Yeah, Memphis wasn't a big deal for the aero rules. Obviously, it's a shorter racetrack there. That was kind of the ride height rule and some of the suspension stuff that we can work on and kind of get a direction on which way we wanted to go, for over this off season when we go back to the shop to know what direction we want to, build our cars in and what we want to do. So that was kind of a baseline test, see what the differences are and see what worked the best for us. Obviously there's a Charlotte test also, but these aero changes are probably bigger than anything else this year, as far as the way we're going to build our bodies and what we want in them. So, and obviously how much faster the cars go through the corners now. So that changes it up a lot. It changes your driving style, it changes up your car setup a lot, and really, in all honesty, it brings it a little bit more to a nationwide car, which I don't believe is a bad thing for this 22 team. I feel like it falls into my style a little bit, and I think last year you see the Gen 6 car that kind of fell into my hands too. So we're excited about the season. We're very positive about these rule changes, and like I said earlier, about taking advantage of the opportunity to be the first guy to figure this out.
Do we have any more questions for Joey? Up here to Dustin.
Dustin Long, MRN. Joey, there's been Brian Francis talked a bit since the season about incentivizing wins and risk-taking. Certainly that comes from fans who say, hey, more needs to be taking place or so forth. How do you look at that? Is that, I don't want to say insult in the sense of that some people seem to think that you guys aren't doing enough, or should there be some more out there to incentivize, and how do you do it? Because how are you going to come up with a system where if you win races, that's, no matter what they come up with, Jimmy Johnson still keeps winning the championship.
I don't know if there's any race car driver out here that isn't competitive enough to say they're going to do what they got to do to win a race. They're going to try to win the race. I think if there is someone like that out here, it's probably not the guy that's going to win any races throughout the season. You gotta want to be the guy that's going to push ahead, and when you're running second, to find that extra little bit to pass that guy. I think at the same time we want to do it as clean as we can, because we race against the same people every weekend, and there is that payback that comes back to you. So, obviously we're going to be as smart as we can. We want to put on a clean race. That's what a good race is when you see cars racing door to door. Obviously it's going to be beating and banging and rubbing, but taking someone out's a different story. And that's what we want to put on for our fans. That's a good show to me. That's a good race. And that's what we want to do. I think these rule changes are the whole reason why we did them, right, is to try to make the cars easier for us to get around and be able to catch each other easier and not get stuck in the wake of another car. Hopefully these are the right direction for us to go into this next season to try to help that. But I'm pretty sure the drivers of this level are very competitive and want to win really, really bad, because pulling it into victory lane and doing burnouts is really, really fun. And I'm pretty sure everyone enjoys that, and we're going to do whatever we can to make that happen. So I think we're changing the cars to help allow us, race each other a little easier.
Any more questions for Joey? We'll go back to Godwin in the back.
Way back here, Joey Godwin, Kelly News Journal. As a young driver, do you kind of study what Jimmy Johnson's doing as he grinds his way through these championships and wins? Is there anything you can study about him that you could emulate later?
Yeah. Anyone's won 6 championships, he's got something figured out. I think I really wish I knew what it was, though, because I look and I watch, and he's very good, obviously. But I feel like we can race him, we can beat him. But it's smart to take a look at your competitors and try to figure out and understand what they're doing with directions to their car, what they're doing with that part of it, and as a driver, what he's doing to become a very good driver. So I've done that my whole career since I've started, and I've been able to make progress as I go on through my career You know, like I said earlier, you know, you're racing against the best race car drivers in the world, in my eyes at least. And, you know, to be able to beat these guys, you got to work hard because they're good. And you look at, you know, football players and teams like that, they're always studying tapes and studying their competition on how they can get better. So the same thing comes down in our sport. We're going to look at pictures of the cars on the racetracks. We're going to study race footage, in-car cameras, whatever we can find, we're going to study it and try to understand what they're doing inside the car and outside the car to, you know, win 6 championships because I want to get 6 of them too.
Great. Joey, wish we could do something about these raindrops and
I
cure
know.
your restlessness, but we really appreciate you coming in here today and talking with us.
Thank you. You guys going crazy too yet? I'm going nuts, so have fun.
Thanks, Joey.